Advocates are sounding the alarm on America's baby bust as our country's birth rate hits a record low. Last year, about 3.5 million children were born in the U.S. That's the lowest number of births since 1979. Our next guest says the downward trend is, quote, this is from her op-ed in the Washington Examiner. It says, a reflection of a society increasingly soaked in an anti-family ideology that views children as burdens rather than blessings. A society that fails to value children is one that risks losing its sense of purpose, continuity, and responsibility.
I'm sorry, that just pissed me off. Why is it that when there's a question about why is the birth rate so low, people start playing dumb? She goes on to basically say that overall is a cultural shift. That's why more people aren't having children. I would argue that overall it's been a financial economic shift. That's why more people are having children. She states that society that fails to value children is one of the risks that loses its sense of purpose, continuity, and responsibility. I would argue that society that fails to value affordability is one that risks losing its sense of purpose, continuity, and responsibility. And she basically goes on to say that more people see children as burdens. I would say that it isn't that. People see the cost around children as being a burden. So let's think about it. Groceries all-time high, gas all-time high, rent all-time high. Let's not even get started on the healthcare costs and tuition costs. And to deal with the current economic climate, more Americans are working multiple jobs now than any time since the 1990s. So let me get this straight. I'm supposed to work my regular job during the day, get off work and go work another full-time job, part-time job, or gig work just to make ends meet. And with those conditions, doing all of that, supposed to find time to go date, find my special someone, and then start a family. When do I have time to start the family, let alone raise the children if I'm working multiple jobs? You may be thinking, well, it's not everybody. Well, yeah, some people actually were able to date, find someone. Even people who are with someone, even the couples in this country are saying they don't want children for a variety of reasons, but cost is definitely a key reason as why even they're saying they don't want children. So look, if we're not going to have the economic or financial conversation along with the cultural conversation as to why the birth rate's been declining, then perhaps we shouldn't have the conversation at all if we're not going to be honest.